Welcome, welcome in. So I'm gonna give it a few minutes well, not even a few minutes. I'm gonna give it about a minute to see if anybody actually comes in here live. And then I'm just gonna start with my show. Now, as you can see, this is the SupaTea podcast show. I am known among some very affectionate people as Super, although I have what's the word I'm looking for? Rebrand is not the word because I'm still Super, but I have expanded into other titles. I'm laughing because one reference that people often utilize when they're referring to their different responsibilities that they have is wearing many hats. And I grew up in the Dr. Seuss era. And if you grew up in the Dr. Seuss era, then you know about the man with all the goddamn hats. I don't want to be that man, okay? I don't want to be that person. But on a serious note, I am encompassing all of me. And a lot of that I'm still discovering. You're going to hear my alarm chirping, so pay no mind to that. I promise you, I did work with the batteries, but I changed 3. I didn't change them all. Whew, excuse me. Now with the yawning, I want you to know, not because I'm tired, probably because I'm bumping my gums too quickly, and I need to let in more oxygen. So if you see random yawns, that is the reason why. I got very, very good restful rest, which I always do, and I'm so grateful for that. So, I am here to talk about several things. First of all, if you're not familiar with my podcast show, it has been going on for at least 2 years now. I've been lifing at the same time. This is my studio. I do have some wonderful aesthetics. I do have a whole camera. But Facebook is the MVP. I just want to put it out there that Facebook is definitely the MVP. Now, sometimes we have our ups and downs. Like we have an issue now where they don't want to, per se, promote one of my websites. It's a secure website, by the way. I created it on Google. So I don't know if there's like a little thing going on between Google and Facebook. And maybe I'm just in the middle of that. But we know that Google is secure. I don't remember Google ever telling me like there was a breach, a security breach, and I could be party to a compensation such as Facebook has informed me of. So anyway, not talking about your Facebook, but kinda. That's the deal with me. Welcome in. When you come in, please just put in the comments where you're from and all of that good stuff. So, yeah. Anyway, I still obviously fucks with Facebook, you know. As I decided to come over to my actual podcast page because, you know, I've been getting things organized. There's a lot of things, though. There's a lot of things that had to be discarded, a lot of things to sort through, a lot of organizing to do. So I'm in the process of doing all of that. And it's just me. I need a team. You know, I have a team, but they ain't seen. I need a scene team, too. You know, so I will rely upon my unseen team to bring to me my seen team because they have to be divinely clicked in, right? As I am. Not exactly as I am, but I am divinely, consciously, divinely connected. And we're all connected, but not everybody's aware of it. So I need people who are aware of it and who have done enough work. I'm not looking for perfection, but I'm looking for people who have done enough work, who are consistent and devoted to their own self-work as they develop themselves so that we can get along well together. And we can understand each other, you know, overstand, understand. So we could comprehend. Let's use comprehend. We could comprehend each other, you know? So anyway, a little bit of my background. Whew, where do I begin? I don't even know where to begin. Very, very humble beginnings. A lot of trauma. And here I am. Just as glowy and as happy as can be. Especially considering the circumstances. Every circumstance, though, I can honestly say has come to strengthen and to point me in the direction of me. That's one thing that I shared on my recent episode, which is not published. I recorded an hour earlier today. I normally do my recordings not live like this. My podcast shows are typically not live. They're typically done with my device, and I just post it up, and then it goes to every platform. I'm literally on every platform. The SupaTea podcast show, you can search it on your Apple podcast, you can search on your Google podcast, you can search it on Spotify. Spotify just swooped down and bought Anchor, but that's how I started. I started with Anchor, and Anchor had some just amazing deal where they will publish your podcast on every platform. And I assume that the people who actually started with Anchor when I started and stuck with it, like weekly episodes, they're getting that guap. But my mission has been different, and my mission is different. Yes, money is a factor of our society, right? But there are things that are beyond money, you know. So I move by my spirit, and that's how I've been moving. That's how I've been moving with my life. That's how I move with everything that I touch, honestly. That's my podcast. That's my organization. That's everything. So I'm not rushing. I'm not forcing my will. I realize that I am just a conduit. I am just a vessel of the divine to act through. And the divine kind of directs me where I'm fitted best, you know, where I'm suited best. So I go with that flow, you know, of divinity, of my divinity, and allowing it to navigate me through these waters called existence. So, nonetheless, Nikita Black, this should be showing on my Nikita Black page. Nikita Black is my new artist name because I realized that that chapter in my life, right, was me coming through some extreme trauma, the loss of my daughter, and the fight of a century with regaining my son, you know, because he was temporarily separated. I came into a whole lot of knowledge in regards to civics, regards to the law, regards to my culture, and I went into these different arenas and I presented this truth to these individuals, and they were like, we can care less about the truth, we got your son. And I was so just, I don't know where I was at, to be honest, because it took me about a good 6 months to recognize what they were really doing, you know. Like I recognized it, and but I wasn't strategic. I was very emotional. See, when you're dealing with warfare, or even conflict, you have to be strategic in order to be successful. And I wasn't strategic. I was strictly emotional. I was like, I just lost my baby girl, and now you guys got my son, and I am going to sue the holy crap out of you. And that was the wrong approach. That was the wrong approach, the wrong strategy. Because it was like, you one brown woman, you're going to sue us while we have your son. We'll make sure he gets into the best homes. Wink, wink. And they did not put him in the best homes, you know. They unfortunately put him with people where he was raped, where he was physically abused. They bounced him around about 5 times. Within 8 months, they then shoved him back to me because, click, click, I got the light bulb turned on, and recognized that I had to be a bit strategic, and not only strategic, because it wasn't a purposeful like, oh, these people are really like, they have set me up as an opponent. They're opposing me when I'm just trying to do the motherly thing and have my child back where I know he's safe. And really, the strategy came from the divinity. The strategy came straight from the divinity. I cannot take credit for the strategy because they put these crazy stipulations. We want you must do a parenting class in order to get your child back. Why do I must? What? Excuse me? Pardon me? But see, the way the Spirit led me was they connected me randomly. Random connection with someone who, guess what, is registered to do parenting classes. Do you think I sat through 6 weeks? Let's just say I completed the classes. They instantly were able to see what was going on, and it was an instant boom, like so quick. It was so quick. It was so quick. It was so quick, and then I never spoke to that person again. But anyway, it was a lot. So I was in super mode at that point in time because I was still keeping my head afloat. And another thing aside from my spirituality that I got into was music. And I started utilizing my voice, and I started sharing it, and it was impacting people, and I didn't even realize it was impacting people. All I knew was that it was helpful to me to use it. So again, I was super at that time. I was definitely beyond what I could have ever imagined anybody to be, especially myself, given the challenges and the traumas that were present at that particular time. But then as I matured and I grew and I did more healing and self-growth, I said, I don't want to be super lit no more. I know that's an aspect of me. It's not an aspect that will... my backlight is my computer. I'm investing in a ring light, people. I promise you. But right now, this is my ring light. Cotopaxi volcano. I don't even know why that's on my screen, but everything's connected. Who knows? You know, who knows? But that's what's providing the backlight. It does time out though, so you will see when it times out, because you'll see some extra shadows come, and then I'll just click the mouse right here and activate it again. But anyway, yeah, I got to the point where I was like, there's more to me than just winning battles, right? And I wanted to get into the more of me, and there was birthed Nikita Black. Again, something that came to me. You know, I didn't premeditate it or anything. It was just like, okay, I don't want to be this. Well, first of all, not that I don't want to be, but other people have branded this name already, Supa, you know. So cool. Like, there's room for us all. And kudos to Supa, you know. I fucks with her. I don't know her personally, but I know that I wasn't part of her first following, but I caught tidbits here and there, and I just love the fact that she was authentic the whole way, you know, and as she got up her people, and when she had enough people, she broke out her Crayola makeup palette, and then she just took off from there, you know, and Sister Girl been flying, soaring ever since, you know. She's no longer in those toxic relationships. She's got a good dude. She's got her beautiful daughter, beautiful family, amazing friends and things. Like, girl is doing a thing, you know? So, again, I'm not a competitor at all. I'm just not, you know? I feel, for me personally, competition is with sports. And I don't play sports, you know? I used to, but no. Not anymore. They don't really interest me like that, you know. Sometimes I like to watch, you know, but I gotta be there, you know. Anyway, because I'm not a competitor, I said, okay, cool, you know. What's gonna be my name that I'm known to the world as, you know? And then hence came Nikita Black. So I'm like, oh, okay. And after it came to me, I utilized the internet to actually look up what Nikita means. And I was like, oh, yes, that's it. You got to do it. I'm not going to tell you what it is for two reasons. First reason, I honestly forgot. I didn't commit it to memory. But it's in there, like it's tucked in my hard drive. I just can't bring it to my and I can look it up right now since I'm actually sitting in front of the computer. But this mountain is just so amazing. I kind of don't want to leave from it, so I'm going to open up a new tab. Let's open up a new tab, and so I can tell you the meaning of it. I changed my mind. I do that often, by the way. I want to share with you what Nikita means. Okay, so do you want to know what Nikita Black means? Nikita itself means the victory of the people. Powerful, 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 powerful. Okay, so that's what it is. I'm going to leave it here because it's a little brighter on this page. The mountain is still there. Victory of the people. So I was like, yeah, that's it. So I did my first single, financed it myself, and put it out there in the world. By the way, my single is called Cut Me Loose, and it is basically cutting off the bonds that trauma may have created, that poverty may have created. Like for everybody, I'm an artist, and with art, everybody basically sees what they see in it. You know, the artist, of course, sees one thing, but everybody else sees what they see, you know. So a lot of people identified with the song differently. Some people, it was relationships, situationships. Some people, it was addictions, bad habits. Everybody identified with the song differently. So because I'm doing everything myself, and I'm still awaiting my wonderful in-scene team, I haven't really had the opportunity to fund the marketing part of the song. So when you hear it, you'll hear it. You can look it up. It's called Cut Me Loose. And let me put my, oh, I could put a link in here. I'm gonna link the song here for you guys. I love the fact that I could put links in here. Oh, I don't have no recently added links. Add a new link. Lord have mercy of mercies. I'm going to have to pause this, I think, to go find the link. I don't know. It might be. Let's see. It might be in my clipboard. Let's see if it is. It's not. Unless it's one of these YouTubes, which I don't know. Bear with me a moment as I find. I didn't even think. Thank you again for your patience, because again, this is spirit led and it's not like premeditated. Like, oh, I'm gonna promote this. I didn't think about promoting anything. What I really want to get to, the meat and potatoes, I haven't even gotten to, because I'm like, wait a minute, these people don't even know me. So I'm like, maybe they should know me first, know a little bit of my background. There's so many influencers in the world, and I guess I'm establishing my tribe. So I'm pulling up the song because I want to share it, but I want to, I don't know if the link changes. I feel like I have it in here, but I don't know. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to type the link in. I'm here. I'm just typing my link in. I'm typing my link in. If anybody's in, I can't really even see who's here or who's not here because I'm typing, and that's taking up the full page. But okay, I have got it in. Featured links. Okay. I think it's there. Show it. Look at that. See, this is why I fuck with Facebook. Because they have these cool shit. I don't know who else has these abilities. Like, if they do, I don't know how to use it. And as you can see, I'm still learning how to use it here on Facebook. So click on the link and you can hear my song. So that's what that song meant for me. For me, it was personally getting rid of the doubts, getting rid of the fears, getting rid of the things that were the thoughts that said, you're not good enough. Look, you don't have nobody supporting you. How you gonna do it? Like those thoughts. Cutting those thoughts loose and recognizing that I have always, my entire existence, even beyond this physical incarnation, I have always been supported. I know I've had experiences that there was no other explanation aside from God literally is guiding, protecting, and guarding me. There was no other explanation. There was no other explanation. Okay? I've been in situations that you're going to have to read it in the book. You're just going to have to read it in the book. You know? And by the way, I am releasing a trilogy probably next year because I'm now in the third part. And when I say the third part, it is the part where, you know, it's getting really good. Like, the other parts are good as far as, like, the suspense and the, just the drama. But now I'm getting into the parts where it's like, it's not just drama. It's magical. It's been magical all along, but I'm just now fully aware of it. And I'm just like, whoa, 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 whoa. So, with that being said, I'm actually going to play it. Hopefully Facebook, they'll be like, you don't have copyrights to this. I do, Facebook. It's me. It's me. It's my song. I have the rights to it. Let me go, let me go, let me go, go, let me go, let me go, let me go, go, let me go, let me go, let me go, go. I got to be free. You can't have me no more. I call all of me back to me. That's where I should be. I'm going forward. don't know, then you won't grow. So we must know, and we must grow. My God said so. It ain't in the sky, it's within you and I, and all living things. Life is more valuable than the blings and rings. Quality, character, sound mind rings. True for me, I'm stepping forward into my destiny. You can't hold me, I won't let you control me. I see it takes my freedom. It's bittersweet, yet it's nutritious. All your doubts and fears you sold me are fictitious. Let me go, let me be. It's time for me to live my true destiny. Cut me loose, let me be. This is your notice of my freedom. 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 Yeah. Cut me loose, let me be free. It's time for me to live my true destiny. So that is my song, people. That is my song. I wrote the song. That's me. And it is not really displaying so much of my true talent as far as the range goes. It's very popish and very light because really the words were the most important part to it, and I like the fact that it had a catchy beat too, you know. So anyway, I licensed the beat, matter of fact, so I have full rights to it, to do what I want to do with it and all that good stuff, and I have that paperwork straight. So there's a business to music, obviously, and being a business major, you know, I just try to keep everything in order, and it's a lot. It's one business aspect when you're dealing with music, another business aspect when you're dealing with writing and publishing, another business aspect when it comes to having a e-commerce store, other business when it comes to a brick and mortar store such as my cafe. I believe that I'm posting onto Matcha Madness Cafe page. I believe so. I have cross-posted this live to 7 of my pages. I'm just laughing because it's like, I don't know anybody else who have that many pages. But in hindsight, 10, 20 years from now, I'll look back and I'll be like, yeah, because all of those are anyway, you'll see. They're all kind of, they're not in their infancy anymore. They're kind of like toddlers now because they've been around for a few years. But you'll see when they actually mature until what I would like to call adulthood. You know, that'll be 21 years. So at the 21st year, you know, we know Facebook is going to still be around, and those pages, and who knows, like we may have the technology, we could reach out and touch each other. They're working on it. I was like, let me get that burger. Digital burgers. Anyway, I don't know. Who knows though? Who freaking knows? Our awareness, we're at the tip of the iceberg, and there's so much beneath the surface for us to discover and explore. So do work on that. Do raise your awareness and your consciousness by diving deep within yourself and into spirituality and meditating and doing all of those wonderful, amazing things that connect you to the bigger part of you. But this particular episode, I like the fact that I got the inspiration to pull my flag out right here. I am a Moorish American. I am an indigenous mother of the Americas. My people have been over here for millennia. You know, probably before even the separating of the continents. My folks is here. And I think that's why they just fought the way they fought. But I am a direct descendant of the Yazoo tribe. We were down lower on North America, very close to, I want to say, what is that down there? Um, Something down there. I can't think of it, the name of it is. But it's kind of like when the land is kind of like this, and then the water is there, and then it goes out to the wide ocean. I can't think of what it is. It's not a bay. Um, Whatever. My people, we've been here. The history of my people, my particular indigenous tribe I come from. The reason why you don't hear about us is because we fought. We fought a lot, and so we fought for centuries. We fought the settlers for centuries, and some settlers got strategic. They got smart. I mean, of course, you got to learn as you're in battle. You got to learn if you're paying attention. And some settlers got together with another tribe, and when they got together with the other tribe, the Yazoo tribe was defeated temporarily. I want to say temporarily because I don't think, well, I know the fact that I'm here, the fact that I have, children, the fact that a lot of us are still here and around that are descendants of the Yazoo nation shows that we really were not defeated, To me, defeat is like to completely wipe out, and that is not really possible unless that is the will of God, okay? So, anyway, that's what happened, some settlers banded with another tribe, and they got the one up on us, and the ones of us that survived physically, because obviously there were ones that survived physically, or I would not be here. I mean, I probably would be here, but in another form, probably through another tribe, because I guess it was important that my particular soul incarnated as an indigenous woman of the Americas. I'm still discovering what's the importance of that, but according to the names and the things that come to me, and even my name that's given to me, Takara, I'm here for victory. I'm here for the people. I have been called here. And of course I had to agree to come, but there's a reason why. So if I didn't come through the Yazoo tribe, I'm pretty sure I would have came through another tribe, because whatever the purpose is, it must be done by someone such as me. So here I am, living on purpose. So anyway, that is a bit of my background. And so the SupaTea podcast show was born while I was still being super, obviously. And I was like, I'm going to just bring tea. Tea meaning whatever the hell is on my mind, whatever the hell is going on in my life. I'm just going to share it with the world. So I speak on different topics. I speak on controversial topics. I speak on metaphysics. I speak on things deep. I even talk on media issues sometimes. And just basically go by what's on my spirit. And what has been heavy on my spirit is due to my recent interactions with being here. I don't get to see a bulk of what's being on the news. But of course, nobody escaped Nipsey's assassination. Nobody escaped Tupac's assassination. Nobody escaped this freaking crap that's going on with Sean Combs. Nobody really escaped that, even if you don't watch the news, unless you're a complete recluse, which I'm not, but unless you're a complete recluse where you're completely cut off from the outside world. I'm not really cut off. I'm just not participating in their shenanigans, but I'm fully aware of the outside world. But a recluse is someone that's like, they're living somewhere, they don't have no TV, no radio, they just literally are in their home, they have their food, I don't know whether they're growing it or having it delivered, but That's a recluse. I'm not a recluse. You know, I'm just not a participant of the shenanigans. So, with all of that, okay, racism, racism, racism. It's 2023. We're still overcoming that. It should have been overcame already. Please let's not go into 2030 with it still in existence. That gives us 7 years to totally eliminate it. We can do this. We can do this. Kudos to the descendants of the settlers who are standing up and saying, listen, we get our shit together. And I hope they continue to send that message out into the world, to the universe. And I hope they hold their personal friends accountable, their personal colleagues accountable, even their personal bosses, employees, whatever. Like, hold your culture accountable. Hold your own culture accountable. Those who are like, what's the sense? Those who are like, hey, we kind of like that culture over there, and not ashamed to say that they like it. You know, they're not liking our culture in secret. They're not liking our culture, you know, with hidden agendas. They like genuinely like, man, these people are amazing. Like, look at the shit that they went through culturally, and look at them still shining. God damn. You know, a healthy admiration for us, love for us. Thank you. Please continue to hold those in your culture accountable, okay? Let's talk about America, okay? Because, see, you see this right here? You think this is from Morocco, right? I know you do. I know you do. Because Morocco, which was established in the 60s, they've adopted it, right? Adopted it. They didn't create it. They adopted it. I need y'all to listen when you hear words, okay? Adopted. They didn't create it. They adopted it. They adopted this flag. So who created this flag? This flag is actually of the ancient Moroccan Empire. And guess where that empire was? It wasn't across seas. It was right here. Right here. And I don't really know how ancient it is. If we're going to get down to the nitty-gritty part of it, I don't really know. But this is part of the fabric of this land that we now call the United States of America. It's part of the fabric, people. It's part of it. You're going to have to do your own research, of course, but it is part of it. It's part of it. So this is what I know. And so what I know, I'm going to share with you guys. Settlers got over here. This empire was in shambles. It's in shambles. Fucked up. It's in shambles. Tribes were fighting with tribes. People were fighting with people. It was all out of order. All out of whack. Before the settlers got over here, okay? That's what was happening, all right? But it was really nobody, like, even though it was falling apart from within, it was really what you're going to do about it, unless the people from within started actually working to put it back together. But I want to say that by the time the settlers got over here, they were very far gone. And now, being far gone, you have a new threat, so to speak, or new aspect to deal with. How you going to deal with that and your shit is all fucked up? You really can't, you know? So many settlers saw an opportunity. Now, some of them, people are people, okay? Everybody didn't come over here. I don't think anybody came over here with the idea of conquest. I think that, yes, there might have been all type of people on these boats that sailed the fuck over here, but they weren't even looking for here. They were trying to get to India, okay? But they made it here, and when they got here and they saw what the fuck was going on, probably a bunch of them motherfuckers were scared, okay? And they was like, oh, hell no. Let's get back on the boat. Let's get the fuck's going on over here. These motherfuckers is stabbing and slicing and chopping and oh hell to the no. No. And then, whoever, was leading was like, no, but we can defend ourselves. We're here, we're gonna stay here, And it was probably mixed, okay? Some motherfuckers probably wanted to get back on the boats. Some people wanted to stay. Some people wanted to run and hide. Some people wanted to fight. But intelligent motherfuckers said, there's an opportunity here. Look at this place. It's fertile. It is a lot of nature. So I don't know why being in nature would be considered underdeveloped. But we didn't have the type of stuff that was in Europe over these parts as of such. So like, this could be a new start. We can build something marvelous. But before they started to build anything, they had to sit down with these people first. They had to sit down with this empire. The shambles that it was in, it still was a standing empire when they came. Okay? I'm not quite sure when it completely dissolved itself. But I do know that it was these high priestesses and these high individuals in government that got together with their choice settlers and begin to teach them different things and share with them sacred knowledge and sacred geometry. Hello. Pay the fuck attention. Have you looked at Washington, D.C. from the sky level? Have you walked into any building, any federal building, and not peeped sacred geometry? Have you? Like, not what you've seen, but with your own eyes. Like your physical eyes. Because it's everywhere. Our sacred geometry is every fucking where. So yes, her ancestors taught this sacred geometry to some settlers. They got together, boom. Why don't you start? Listen, our shit is fucked up. I don't know how long it would take to even get it back together. But instead of getting it back together, what we can do is learn from our mistakes. What we can do is create a new union together, and because that is really the future of things, coming together as one. Yes, you can have your different cultures, like, hey, you may like your rice with butter. I might like my rice with olive oil. We could have those idiosyncrasies, but really the big picture is that we're sharing this land and we need to get it back in order. So they got together, they created the United States of America. This empire acknowledged them, and now here we are. Here we are in the year 2023, and there has the audacity to be racism. Why? Why does racism exist? This is why racism exists. Racism exists from unhealed trauma. Unhealed trauma. Fear. People are afraid of what they don't understand. People are afraid, and so they go through these extreme measures to try to oppress what they don't understand instead of allowing nature just to be. Listen, yes, we all are created equal, but are we in fact equal? I love the analogy, I think that's the right word, of a cat and a lion. Think about it. Feline, right? In order for a cat to have cubs, gotta have a female cat and a male cat. They gotta mate. Then little kittens grow inside the belly, and bloop, she pops them out, right? That's how a cat is created, right? How is a lion created? Gotta have a female lion, gotta have a male lion. They both gotta mate. When they mate, bloop, she gets pregnant, she pops out some cubs. So are they created equally? Yes, because equal means they're created the same way, right? That's what equal means. They are created the same way. But is a cat as strong as a lion, although they're both felines? No, it's not. But do you see lions going around looking for cats trying to eat them? No. And do you see cats trying to fight lions and subjugate them and oppress them and make sure that they don't recognize they're a lion? No, because that's unnatural. But see, human beings, human beings, because we have something extra in us, we have the ability to be conscious of things. See, a cat naturally knows, hey, I'm not going to do that shit because that's not what the fuck am I going to do that for? But see, humans having consciousness, they're like, wait a minute, maybe I could do that. No, that's out of whack. It's not natural. So all those people who thought maybe I could do that and have been doing that to people who look like me or even more melanated, you guys need to heal. You guys need to heal. You need to get in tune with nature. You need to just accept who you are and what you are and love yourself just as you are and what you are. And if anything, your advancements in economics gives you the opportunity to assist those who have been oppressed and who have been unjustly dealt with over the last 500 years here on this land. You have the ability and the opportunity to do something great and magnificent. You have the ability to let go of whatever doctrine was put into your mind. You have the ability to let that shit the fuck go and actually be like, you know what? I don't want my great-great-great-great-great-great-grandchildren to be paying for the sins that I'm doing right now. So what can I do better? That's me talking to the descendants of the settlers, Europeans that are here on this land, okay? Now, other people have different ideas. Other people like, oh, hell no, they're this, they're that, they need to just be eliminated. I don't have that, because that same fear and oppressive stuff that's on the opposite side of the coin is on this side of the coin when it comes to the melanated people, to the people that are naturally more powerful, or we have a bigger responsibility because of the natural power that's within us. So no, I don't think it's okay to say get off of any land to anybody. I think that the best solution to deal with the conflicts is to say, hey, you are out of order. What can we do to get you in order? Not reject and push them away and tell them, first of all, that nobody's doing that. It's not happening, okay? It's not happening. It ain't happening. Maybe, and I know there have been strategic things against a lot of our movements, but our movements have been very physical movements. Marcus Garvey, excellent, genius. Nobuju Ali is one of them that said, hey, this can't be just a physical thing, because this is beyond physical. This has to be a spiritual thing as well. I mean, that's where the core of it is at. When you get the spiritual part together, everything else is going to fall together. But we got to maintain that part. So that's why initially, of course, you're seeing all these oppressions, you're seeing all these physical things happening. Of course, initially you're like, we need to physically deal with this. So let's create this and let's create that, and let's leave this place. Let's go back over here. Let's go here. Let's go there. No. Be still and know that I am God. That's a Bible verse, right? What does that Bible verse mean? It means exactly what it says, be still. We need to go nowhere, okay? We need to be right where the fuck we are. And we need to know that God is within us, acting through us as us. We need to tap into that. And that must be active at all times, in all situations. And when that is the leading factor, we can not only see things clearly, we can come up with solutions and resolutions clearly. We could fix a whole bunch of stuff. But it starts with the individual doing that for themselves. And once an individual successfully does that for themselves, others are going to see, what's so special about this person? How are things always working out for that person? Now, some people will admire it and want to know more, and other people will be fearful. But let me tell you about the people who are fearful. They're fearful because of their own insecurities. They're fearful because they have not accepted who they are, what they are, where they are completely. They haven't accepted. They have painted things to disguise and hide behind, and those things became their comfort and their crutches, but those things cannot carry them into the new beginnings that is inevitable for the globe. It's happening globally. So that's why we're becoming aware of the atrocities, because it's like, hold up, wait a minute, we need to fix this. And the people that's standing up and they're protesting the atrocities, kudos to you. Like, we literally have the information and the technology to end war, to achieve world peace. We have all of the tools. We have them, people. They're not coming to us. They're already here in existence. But people need to wake up. People need to become conscious. People need to become aware. And before that can happen on a mass scale, which it is happening on a mass scale, actually, but before we can actually identify it happening on a mass scale, we have to identify it within ourselves. We have to identify it within ourselves. We have to raise our own consciousness within ourselves, become aware. We have to do better. We have to have compassion. We have to have love. We have to have forgiveness. We have to realize how powerful our minds are, how conditioned it is with the images that we see on the screens, and how we can, at this point in time, we can control the images that we see. We can control the things that we hear. We have control over that now. We could be like, nah. And guess what happens if we say nah to things that are disturbing? Guess what we say to nah to things that are pumping up your adrenaline, that are putting images of fear and gore and blood and all of that stuff into your fucking mind, which goes into your subconscious. Guess what happens when we say nah? The motherfuckers that's making it stop making it, because they ain't gonna make no shit if motherfuckers ain't gonna buy it. Y'all not ready, but I think y'all are. Y'all must be ready. Y'all must be ready to hear this truth, because otherwise I wouldn't have this opportunity to sit here and tell it to you. Come on now. I see some people have all different perspectives of Facebook and social media. Oh, it's full of drama. Oh, it's full of this. Oh, it's full of that. Is it? Because let me tell you how it works. What you like, what you spend your time watching, it's going to show you more of that. That is across the board how this algorithm shit works. You have control over your page. You have control over your life. Perfect example for you, okay? My Facebook pages, my Instagram pages, even my TikTok pages, because of the things that I like, because of the things that I spend my time watching, commenting on, engaging in, which I choose for it to be positive stuff, funny stuff, romantic stuff, stuff that promotes love, that's what I am shown on a daily basis. That's all that's on my feed. And if something slips through, I press the X button. And they be like, oh, you don't want to see that? Hell no, I don't want to see it. And then very seldomly does something slip through. Now I want to bring up another page. And I'll tell you, there's many factors to me, okay? Yeah, you got a little gospel. That's the part that not a lot of people are aware of about me. Because I'm really not looking for a following. I really went into ministry to lead myself and to have a closer relationship with God myself, and recognize that there really isn't a middle person needed. You have the source. We have the source deeply within us. That was my reason for going into ministry. It was a complete spiritual act, and I didn't publicize it because it was for me. It was for me and God. It was like, God, I want to know you better. I want to know something's not right. The messages I'm getting from these religious places, something ain't matching. Anyway, so you got a little bit of that, right? But I am a complete person, that's only one aspect of me. A very important aspect, but just one aspect of me. Now, we're going back to how social media works and how you have control over your algorithms by what you like and what you spend time engaging with. So I have another platform that I use. I want to call it my lower self platform. It's Twitter. Twitter is completely my lower self platform. I spend a lot of Twitter hours looking at the opposite sex because they got all their business out there. And I was at first just shocked that Twitter allowed it. I was like, oh my God, Twitter, wow. So, yes, my Facebook, my Instagram, my TikTok, positive, and I'm not going to say that's negative, okay? But it's very fleshly, is what I'm going to say. I wouldn't say there's anything spiritual about that. That is completely my flesh on Twitter, okay? And anyway, over here, what I engage in, what I put my time in, what I like is what they give me. I have control over it. You have control over your page as well. Over on Twitter, what I like is what they show me. I have control over it. So my Twitter has really nothing profound on it. It's a lot of sausage. So I'm gonna say it's a lot of sausage on my Twitter. So that's how I figured out how this worked. I didn't go to school to figure out how the algorithms work. I just paid the fuck attention and figured it out. So we have that. We have that ability. So we don't have to just complain about things and expect them not to present it. Because let me tell you, the media is a business. It's a business. If you are buying what they're selling, they're going to sell it. The moment you stop buying what they're selling is when they switch it up, because they want their business to still be operative and they still want to make a profit. So you can't be mad at the fact that they put certain shit out there, because people like that shit and people are buying that shit. That's why they put it out there. They're not putting it out there for any other reason at this point in time. At this point in time, maybe in the past, where we didn't have control over it, where we turn on the TV and that's our only options was what was on TV, and then they came out with cable, and so we had some more options. That was different. We not in those same times no more. We not in those times we turn on the TV and we must watch what the programming is. We're at a different time. We're at the time where we can program our motherfucking selves, and we must start fucking doing that and getting rid of the trauma, getting rid of the fear, just discarding it completely. We have that option, okay? And once we start exercising those abilities and those choices, we'll see shit shift and change literally. We will see it, experience it. But it starts with you. You can't be like, oh, I don't know why those people doing this. No, what are you doing? How can you make it better? You can spend all the time you want looking at some fucked up shit, but what does that do for you? Does it help the situation? No. Does it help you feel better? No. Now, you may be used to the adrenaline rush that you get from it and the emotional feedback. That might be a habit of yours, but is it a healthy one? Really? with all of these things, cancer and stress-induced this and stress-induced that, and young people just literally dropping the fuck dead for being overstimulated with the bullshit. Pay attention. Pay the fuck attention. All of that shit is factoring into it. They be like, we don't know why Johnny just dropped on the basketball court. He was just so healthy and he's such a healthy athlete. What the fuck is Johnny watching? What the fuck is Johnny listening to? What the fuck is Johnny eating? All of that shit. We gotta be mindful of our diets. And our diets is not just what we put in our bodies. It's what we listen to. It's what we watch. It's what we say. All of that. What was the spiritual? Oh, but we was part of a good church. I ain't here to talk about nobody's spiritual house. I'm just here to share my truth with you guys. Listen. You, us, every individual, we have a direct connection with infinite source. God. You could call it whatever you want to call it. You could call it Allah. You could call it Jehovah. You could call it Buddha, Jesus, or you could call it whatever you want to call it. The force is what it is. We all have connection to that force. It's beating our heart. Do you wake up and be like, okay, I just woke up. How many beats does my heart need to make today? Let me put that program in. No, it's doing it seemingly automatically, right? No, there's something divine that is beating your heart, that's pumping the blood in your body. You're not thinking about that. You're not conscious of that. That is above and beyond you. It's working it for a reason. Okay? So you're here. Welcome to the SupaTea podcast. I could go pretty deep, but I want to get back to where I want to focus on, which is America. Okay? I want to focus on America because a lot of people are not aware of how the government works. But the way this government was structured was to have checks and balances, to not give one sector more authority over another. So, because we have these checks and balances, we have the city level, municipal level, right? We have the state level. We have the federal level. Okay? Federal level is over the state and the city levels, right? So say you have conflict, somebody bring you to court, you try to resolve it there, and the state itself or the municipality itself fails to deal with the issue appropriately, constitutionally, guess what you have the right to do? You have the right to take that state agency, that state court, that city agency to the federal level and question the fact of whether they're acting constitutionally or not. But please know the law that you're bringing under question, and that's what the U.S. state codes, I don't even know what the U.S. stands for. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. But these are federal laws. Just know the federal laws. Study that. Study fucking federal law. You know, not everybody's intended to be a lawyer, of course, or a judge. But if you're brown and you're here, it is our duty to know what's going on at the federal level. Not just at the city levels, not just at the state levels. We must also know what's going on at the federal level so that we can exercise our rights and stop giving over your goddamn on rights, okay? I know some things trick you out of it, but you can always hold on to them. Just the simple thing. You see this? The pen is mightier than the sword, okay? Even if you were tricked in the past, it's no excuse to allow yourself to continue to be tricked, okay? Because you can use this to create and to script your own life. Your mouth, it's life and death in the power of our tongue, right? So you can utilize your mouth, you can utilize your pen. You can put them together. That's how true it is. Put them together and do some magical shit. Because that's really what's going on. That's at the core of everything. Nobody is just these acts that we see and these actions that we see before us. They're not by accident, okay? But with that being said, I encourage you, to really unplug from the matrix, so to speak, and don't just buy something because it looks appetizing and it looks good and it stirs up something inside of you. I had to learn that myself, okay? Let's get some personal life. Y'all want to get some TT? Now that I done talked about all this in-depth stuff, let's talk about some TT, because I'm still having this experience, okay? So don't think that I haven't had the challenges that you may have experienced, and maybe you haven't experienced these challenges. But OMG, dating nowadays, oh my goodness. Like, I haven't really plugged into the conscious community. I will say that. I haven't. The reason why is because when I plugged into my history, the history of the flag, and, I was involved with certain movements, certain groups, I saw that they needed to heal. I recognized not only that they needed to heal, but I recognized that I needed to heal. I came into this awareness and of this knowledge through the trauma of losing my daughter. Probably, and I'm not going to say probably because I can't, say how things would have went if I would have never lost her. But I definitely wouldn't have went in with the passion and the fervor that I came into this knowledge with if I wasn't traumatized at the time. If it was presented to me, everything is flowing nice and easy, then I would have had a different perception. I would have had a different approach to it. But when I came in, I was traumatized. And and they were like, yeah, these courts do this and these courts do that. And the courts were like actually doing this. Family court was actually doing the things that these people were talking about in the classes. And I was like, oh, hell no. I've always been a vigilant at heart and at spirit. So when a motherfucker trying to bully somebody or bully me, I fought back since a baby. Elementary school. That was my MO. Like, throughout my whole academic career, up until a certain point of maturity, of course, but that's just who I've been innately. So I didn't feel fearful when these people challenged me. I actually went in there foolishly because they had a very important asset at the particular time. They had my son, but I was just like, nah, knuckle up, motherfuckers. But my knuckle up was my pen game in my mouth. And they was just like, okay, this bitch is saying some shit, but she don't realize we got her son. She don't realize that. And I did realize that, but I just thought the truth was going to be enough for them to release him, and it wasn't enough, But anyway, needless to say, the individuals that I was involved with, they were doing the same shit. Like, as far as, like, okay, you've given me the knowledge, thank you, but where y'all at? Because I was walking into some courtrooms by myself 9 out of 10 times. Where y'all at? And the brothers were being men. Or I should say are being men. Not the protective and the loving and the, okay, baby sister, no. The lusty, dick hard, want to put the dick in type of men. And I'm like, hold up, wait a minute. You got a whole wife. So, yeah. I fell the fuck back. Once I started seeing those behaviors, I separated myself. And another reason why I separated myself was because the topics that they were talking about, and this is years ago, people. This is not like last year. This is way, way pre-pandemic. The topics were like, so you don't gotta pay taxes because we indigenous. And I was like, okay, that's cool to know. But isn't there more to this? Because what I'm getting is more. What I'm getting is we're supposed to be establishing schools and hospitals and have these institutions of knowledge. Where they at? Where these institutions at? Where the schools at? Where the hospitals at? Where's the housing at? Wasn't none. Wasn't none years ago. I don't know what y'all doing now. Some of y'all doing some stuff. I don't know. Like other people got the memo, I guess. But it wasn't none. It wasn't none that I was aware of when I first came into the information and knowledge. And I was like, okay, that's another flag. The men are being men. There's a lot of healing from traumas that need to happen within this knowledge. These knowledgeable people still need to be healed so that they can actually apply this knowledge properly. Because they're fighting battles that are not even a battle to fight. You're talking about not paying taxes in the world where 501c's exist and 508s exist. And there are so many tax codes to not pay taxes that you want to argue that. You want to put all your energy into not paying a tax? To be a tax-free? That doesn't seem like a worthy battle. That doesn't seem like that's worth a lot of my energy. And it shouldn't be worth their energy neither. But they could see that because of their level of consciousness. Like, okay, I got this information, I got this knowledge, and I want to use it to do this. Whereas when I got the knowledge, I was like, where's the schools at? Where's the... And when I got still and I recognized, oh, maybe I'm supposed to help do some of this shit. And I was just like, okay, God, I'll do it. And I gotta laugh because that literally was my attitude about it. And I gotta laugh because, you know, I should have just took more time with God to be like, okay, how, God, and what, God? And yes, God was directing me towards legal structures and things of that sort. But I'm still creating, because the community organization that I created, we need staff. We need a constant staff, you know. We need office space. Things need to get reorganized, you know. And my ministry, I don't know whether I'm going to marry it. I don't know whether I'm going to separate it. You know, it is a conversation between me and God of exactly how I'm structuring this organization moving forward. But it does exist. It does stand. I was guided to perpetualize it. If perpetualize is a word, which means it's going to always stand, you know. So it is serving families right now. Right now, families are in their home because of work that I've done. And I'm sure other people have done work too to help them maintain that. But I came against an enemy, so to speak, you know, and I stood up to that enemy and I said, no, you're not going to come in here and take these people and put them wherever the fuck you want to put these people at. These people have families. These people are people. What's wrong with you? For the sake of business, not on my watch, not on my clock. And they was like, oh yeah? Oh, you want to fight us? Oh, we got something for you. He thought they had something for me. The motherfucker told me himself. He said, you better be real because I'm coming at you with everything. And obviously, I'm real. I'm here. It was challenging. Don't make it sound like it wasn't. I mentioned my baby girl several times, right? I had things from my baby girl. I had her book bag. I had drawings that she had made me in kindergarten. I had sentimental things that nobody could ever replace. I had that in my dwelling while I came head to head with these bullies. And I lost that stuff. I could never get it back. Not only did I lose that stuff, I had some revolutionary things happen to me. I'll put it like that. I don't talk about it a lot. It wasn't like a big woo, you know. We got this indigenous lady. It wasn't like there was a group that was like, let her go. They didn't Angela Davis me or anything like that. But I had those type of experiences, okay? And it was just me and my spirit team. And my spirit team had to guide me throughout the whole way through it, you know. They did secret indictments on me. Like, they did some shit. They did some shit. They went into that pot. Because you know they got a pot in these people. I'm going to tell you who these people are. They are a group of Hasidics. I don't know which group they are, but they're a group of Hasidics in Brooklyn that I know. They went to their pot. They paid big bucks. Big bucks. They won't allow them to go into that pot again for Takara El Bay. That I can guarantee you. You went. Oh, that's the same lady. Oh, that's the same lady. Nah, y'all can't go in the pot for that no more. Nah. You got retreat. We got other business to take care of. What is she really doing? Oh, she just defending herself and defending her people? Is she still around even after y'all went in the pot the first time and put all this money in these people's pockets, and them people took that money and got ghosts? Those people are not even in those same positions anymore. Like, everything has already upgraded in New York City. Yes, it looks a mess, but trust me, the people are in the right positions and places to get that shit together, okay? And we constantly filling seats. We constantly filling seats to get that shit the fuck together. So give us a little bit of time. Don't be so hard on Eric, okay? Don't be so motherfucking hard on Eric, because that city, that Big Apple, it's going to take some time to get it right. So allow nature to take its course. Things are working better and progressively, okay, in that space. And things are working progressively in a lot of spaces. The public is just not aware of it. It's not publicized a lot, but it's happening. So I want to reassure you guys, because I know you see a lot of stuff and you like, what the fuck? Things just get worse. They're not. They're getting better. Trust and believe, things are getting better. They're getting better and better and better and better. But we need people and places and spaces to make it happen, because we are the ones that are making it better, okay? So be patient. Whatever you can do for your own peace of mind, whatever you can do for your own levelness and balance, do it. I suggest meditation. I suggest prioritizing your spiritual life. I suggest having a conscious communication and relationship with your own divinity, because it's in you. It's in you. God is inside of you. God ain't sitting up in the sky looking down, being judgmental. All that shit people told you about God is lies. Those are lies. That's not what God is doing, okay? God is a force of life. It's beating your heart. It's making your lungs pump air and receive oxygen. It's enhancing your immune system. It's God. We can't put into enough words the goodness of God, for real, okay? Just know one thing for sure, that it's inside of you. It's inside of you. It ain't outside, it's inside of you. And not only is it inside of you, it's inside of every person. I don't give a fuck what a motherfucker has done or is doing. They got some God inside of them, and if they are doing things that are ungodly, it is because they have no clue that God is inside of them. And they have allowed opinions and impressions in other entities, because there's other entities now, to take dwelling place within them. But God is there. God is there. So do that. Do that. If that's all you can do, do that. That's okay. That's enough. Think good thoughts, do good things, love yourself, love on the people that surround you. That is good enough. That is astronomically good enough. Don't let nobody tell you it's not. Don't tell yourself it's not. Okay? That right there is the core of it all. Because the more people that do that, there's levels of intelligence, there's levels of knowledge, there's levels. And not everybody is designed to be at the same level. But everybody has the ability to do their very best. Everybody has the ability to be conscious of the God within themselves. Everybody has that ability, no matter what level of intelligence they have. Okay? So don't beat yourself up. Don't compare yourself to nobody. Don't try to be what nobody else is being. Be the best you. You focus on being the best you. If you got trauma to heal from, you can do it. If you got habits to get rid of, you can do it. If you got things to change in your life, you can do that. You can have the life that you want to have. You can create the life you want to create. You just have to recognize where the power is coming from. And the power is coming from the God that is within you. So when you tap into that and allow that to lead you, it will lead you to the places, to the spaces, to the people, to the things that will help you to achieve those certain things. People talk about people are getting heavy on these crystals, right? People get very heavy on these crystals. In a sense, they're helping us, I would say, to raise our consciousness, because they have been in existence and around way before our physical bodies have been around, and they're still here. So they have the information, Now, I can't tell you exactly how you're going to utilize it, but what I can tell you, because everybody's different, everybody has different gifts, having them and knowing the purpose of them will assist you. So, yes, do it. Just do it. Don't make it just a trendy thing. Make it a purposeful thing. Make it an intentional thing. Don't do it just because other people are doing it. Doing it because you know the reason why. Oh, this crystal promotes this. This crystal promotes that. This crystal is good for this. This crystal is good for that. Know the reasons why you are engaging with crystals, but utilize them. Utilize crystals, people. Utilize crystals. Utilize crystals. Utilize pen if you can write. If you're literate. If you're not literate, utilize your motherfucking mouth and become literate. Because this is 2023. Whatever you did not get growing up, whatever was neglected from you, whatever abuse you went through, if you have made it to adulthood, congratulations. Because guess what? Now, you have the ability to take your life into your control. It may take time. I ain't saying you gonna do it overnight. I'm just saying that you're able and you're capable, no matter your level of intelligence, no matter where you came from, you can do it. Because guess what? I told you about my baby girl. I ain't go that far back. Okay? Let me go back a little bit. Let's go back. I went back to, my tribe, talked about my bloodline a little bit, but we didn't talk about my personal experience. My personal experience went like this. Beautiful brown baby girl in the belly, turmoil while I was in my mother's stomach. You know why? Because my mother was getting slapped the fuck around with me in her stomach. She was getting slapped the fuck around. My mother was still pumping, I don't even know what that hormone is that you pump when you're stressed. I'm not a doctor, but there's a hormone that your body pumps. It goes to that flight or fight. That was part of my formula. That was part of the shit that was coming through my umbilical cord. Because my mother was raped. Her mother, my grandmother, who actually left the plantation, left the plantation, it came up north to make a better life. Kudos to Carrie Mae. But anyway, that lady, she fought so hard and did so much that by the time she hit, I want to say, in her 50s, if she was even in her 50s, the point of the story is she died very young. She died very young. She died when my mother was 9 years old. My grandfather, being a man, married the woman that he was fucking, who was a part of this organized religion. I'm going to put the organized religion out there. But maybe some of my family's watching, maybe not. My family knows what religion it is. Jehovah's Witness. Yes, you're part of that religion. He married this abusive biatch who was traumatized her goddamn self and controlling and had some brujaness in her. And that bitch abused the fuck out of my 9-year-old mother and traumatized her. And then her fucking sons raped her. And so my mother finally said, you know what? tired of this bullshit. Getting the fuck up out of here. And she fucking ran the fuck away. And according to what I know, several of her sisters did too. Okay? And they ran to go live with another Jehovah's Witness family called the Bates. And that is where I was conceived. Now, I don't know to this day which one did it. I don't know if I'll ever know which Bates impregnated my mama. We gonna find out. I'm getting closer. I'm getting fucking closer. As soon as motherfucking one of my cousins contact me and stop acting like she's scared to pick up the goddamn on phone and just let me know what it says. Either she gonna let me know or I'm gonna start working there, baby, and I'm gonna find out myself. Either way, I'm gonna find out. Because I went to go and get another social security card, and they asked me these qualifying questions. So I always put, I don't know who my dad is, because I don't know who my dad is. And I know it's one of them. I don't know if it's the one that everybody want to say, because he was the biggest and the bulliest one. And so everybody was scared of him. So, shoot, his brothers still act like they scared of him. I'm like, the dude is old now. He's old. He got health conditions and shit. He ain't in those streets like he used to be. Come on now, let's get real. You still scared of that motherfucker? But anyway, I don't know if that's the one. The whole point is I want to tell you what went into my DNA. Just so that you have a better understanding of if I could sit here before you at the age of 40, okay? And I don't know if y'all see my pictures. I don't know if y'all seen them. Okay, I'm dressed. I ain't showing off my curves and my body and stuff like that. But a sister got it going on. Now I got some acne to deal with, you know. I got some improvement because I'm going to continue to give you more of my background. But I got to tell you where I came from, because that's the very first things that was offered to my DNA. Okay. The toxic shit was offered to my DNA. It was the very first. Okay. That abuse, that fear, all of those hormones was pumped in. Of course, she ate good food, obviously, because I came out, I was big, 9 pounds, 12 ounces, I think I was. I was almost 10 pounds when I was born. So she fed me good, right? So I had that part. And then, so now I'm here. Let's get past her gestation. We got past that, okay? She's giving birth to me. I'm here. What happens after I'm here? Is she like, okay, I'm going to go to therapy. I'm going to be the best mom possibly that I could be? No, it's not what happened. Would have been great, but that's not what happened. What happened, I honestly think, God rest her soul, she's been gone since 2005. She did not make it to her 40th birthday, by the way. So yes, me being here is huge. And there was nobody to really celebrate it with me. But guess what? I celebrated this shit my god dang on self. There was nobody to really, like, even my aunts, they still underneath that religious stuff, and they're like, we don't do that. We don't celebrate the day that you were born because John the Baptist got his head cut off there. Like, whatever. I don't understand it. It don't make no sense to me. What John got to do with you? I don't know. But, because if anything, and I'm going to get back to me, but if anything, if that taught you something, the celebration was not evil. The celebration was powerful. It's a powerful time when you have came and circled. Some people say circled the sun. We're always circling the sun, I guess. But it's a powerful thing to be a year older. It's an amazing thing. It is a cause for celebration. So the fact that John the Baptist got his head cut off at a birthday party should not deter you from celebrating birthdays. If anything, it should show you that's a powerful time. I digress. Back to me. So, anyway, she didn't do that. She had too much. It was too much. Too much. She began to do that, I want to say, probably when I began my healing, in her 30s, But she had me at 18. So what she did with me was she dropped me off. dropped me off. I was 6 months old, and I seen her a couple of times, and I did live with her for a few years, from I want to say the age of 10, well, 11, from the age of 11 until 13. I'm gonna say 13, maybe 14. So I lived with her for a few years, you know, but that was it. That was it. That was it. And I had a lovely, great aunt who had me from a baby up until I was 11. And, you know, she pounded in a lot of value in me. And that's why I am the lady that I am, because those were the first teachings that I actually got. Conscious teachings that I got were the teachings that she gave me, but she did not play. You know, she's a retired gangster. I could say that now. I'm going to just say it, because let's not act like she wasn't. And she was, family. Y'all know she was. You know, shit. The fuck? How her name was Blady May. That was her name. Her name was Blady fucking May. Okay? So, yeah, I was raised by a gangster bitch. Who turned into a religious saint when she got to the age of 70. And hey, to me, she was official gangster, because she lived all the way to 90. And I don't know how many gangsters is living to the age of 90 and 100 nowadays. But you gotta be real to get to that point in your life, okay? So yeah, she was like 97 when she passed on. And Blady May was no joke, you know? So that was more fuel to me, okay? And then, but that was it. There was no dad. There was no male figures. There was none of that. You know, only male figures I saw were the ones at the Kingdom Hall. And, of course, they were glorified. You know, I didn't see any of their failures. I didn't see that there was a difference in the way you communicate with a man versus the way you communicate with a woman. I didn't see any of that. These are things that I had to learn, and I'm still learning on my journey as an adult. And guess what? As an adult, you have that opportunity to completely take your life into your hands. It don't matter what you came from. But I'm telling you the shit that I came from. And here I am before you. Right here. Right now. You're looking at me. I can't see you, but you can see me. Alright? I'm here. I done started organizations. I done started businesses. I completed high school. Because I didn't complete high school. I was an honor roll student. But when I got to high school, that's a whole nother story for a whole nother time. I got inside the wrong high school because my mother guided me there, and she didn't know no better. That's the truth of it, you know. I wanted to go somewhere else. I got accepted to 4 high schools. That's how fucking smart and brilliant I was. And I always top of the line citywide tests. So if anybody's really doing some research on me, they're like, yo, this woman has great potential right here. Let me keep an eye on her ass. I know they watching. I don't even give a fuck at this point. Like, watch and keep me safe, because I'm here to keep y'all safe. Anyway, some of my internal dialogue. Anywho, so now I'm in the household with the elder gangster. She's so gangster that she couldn't handle me no more when I got to a certain age. It's really why I left her household, because I've always been opinionated. I've always had the type of spirit. I told you I was a vigilant. I was fighting a whole lot. When I see a bully or somebody try to bully me, it was hands-on. And she was hands-on herself. And I wouldn't say she necessarily was a bully, but she necessarily just had her opinion, and that's just what it was. And if that opinion didn't make sense to me, the intellect, the little baby genius, I had something to say about it. And when I had something to say about it, she had, beef with me. Man, got beat with metal canes and metal spoons and all type of shit. But you think that would shut my motherfucking mouth? I could not help myself. Like, something in my spirit just wouldn't let me just acquiescence and conform, and that bothered her a lot, and it probably bothered her a lot because she probably conformed herself. She had went through atrocities herself. She couldn't even have babies, and she was the most loving soul outside of her gangsterness that I've ever encountered, because that was love. For you to be in your 70s and accept a baby in your household? Shoot, I'm 40. I ain't gonna say I don't feel like accepting nobody's baby in my house. I love babies and all of that good stuff. But what? But she accepted me. She accepted me in her household. She took care of me. She dressed me well. She fed me well. She taught me well. She did have me disciplined. You know, that was my childhood. But then now I'm approaching preteen. She wasn't with the shits, you know, and I didn't have no control over my mouth. And she realized this bitch is getting big, and soon this bitch is gonna be able to fight me the fuck back. So this bitch gotta go. I promise you, that was her inner thought process. Never said these words to me. Never did I hear these words come out of her mouth. But I promise you, that was her inner fucking process. That was her thought process. Oh, hell no. This bitch get big. This bitch look at me eye to eye. Oh, hell no. No. You got to go. That mouth, you got to go. Let me call your mama. Hey, you ready for your baby back? Because I can't stay with her. I'm going to hurt her or she going to hurt me. She got to go. And that's basically what happened. I was uprooted in elementary school, forced to go with my birth mom. And now with my birth mom, who is in a homosexual relationship. So I go from strict and structured to I got different holes in different area codes. Completely different. Like, it was completely different. It's still the hood, though. And the hood is the hood. So, of course, I went from Brooklyn school fighting, you know, citywide. My scores stayed high now. Do the research. I know not the common person can't do the research. I'm talking to everybody that's in tune right now to the SupaTea podcast channel. Do the research. My citywide test was top of the top of the top of the top. Okay, I tested at Stuyvesant and all the major high schools in in New York City, because that's where my test scores were. And I even got into an elite junior high school that went up to high school called School of the Future. That's right across the street from Baruch College, downtown 23rd Street. It's still there. And what's that, Park Avenue or Lexington Avenue? Well, it's actually on 22nd Street. Yeah, School of the Future. Look it up. It's an elite school for real smart motherfuckers. I was there. I should have stayed there. But I didn't. Because, I'm going to tell you why. I didn't stay there. Several reasons. One of the major reasons was I was tired of code switching. I was code switching junior high school. Why do I got a code switch? I go to school and I get to be my intelligent self, and it is praised and it is recognized and it is, you know, congratulated. And then I go to fuck home and I gotta be on some gangster bitch shit because a motherfucker wanna fuck with a bitch. I gotta busting bitches in they face and shit. And I was like, well, what is it? Because I don't know. This is what it has been, but I kind of like this intelligent shit, but this ain't working. Like, is there a happy medium where I could just be, you know, smart in hood at the same time? It was like, yeah, if you stay in the school, you could have both. But it was too much. It was too much code switching. Because, see, I couldn't bring that same mentality there, you know, because then it was a problem. It was like, oh, wait a minute, she's smart, but bitch is fucking violent, which I was not violent. I was just defensive. You know, that's all I was. It wasn't violent. I was defensive. Somebody talks smack or somebody hits me, I'm going to hit them the fuck back. You know, I had to learn not to be defensive just off of people's talk. And thank God I got that lesson early, because I would have been in trouble if not. I mean, we sitting here, you know. Thank you, God. All I can say is thank you. Thank you. Yeah, that's what happened. They accepted me back because my scores were good and my classwork was great. And hold up, we can't leave out this part because this part is affecting my life right now. My very first year, was it my first year? It was my second year. It might have been my second year. My second year in junior high school, I motherfucking slipped and fucking fell and knocked my whole right hip out of my motherfucking pelvis. Boop! So I went from being athletic and being smart to not having the athletic part. No more. No more. Major shit. Major shit. Anybody who's an athlete, think about it. You have to be an athlete to really get how fucking major that was, to not have the ability to be athletic no fucking more. I was in a wheelchair for months. I had to learn how to walk again. I learned how to walk again in fucking junior high school. Okay? That shit was crazy. I still got those screws. They had to do emergency surgery the same day that I fell. And they did the emergency surgery, sent me to a place called New York Foundland, had me with a whole bunch of that building. Still there, by the way. That building. I learned a lot there because I was with kids that had cerebral palsy. I was with kids that had strokes. It was babies on one floor that were crack babies. Like, I saw a whole nother part of life staying those couple of months there in a rehabilitation section. Now, they also provide foster care services, and they ended up actually being my foster care people. Is that a coincidence? Knowing the things that I know now? Hell no, it wasn't no motherfucking coincidence. Couldn't have been a fucking coincidence. Because I could have went to any agency at all. How I end up at the same agency that served me when I had my slip and fall. That's why we need to know about our shit. We need to know our sacred fucking science. Because it's being practiced. And if you're not aware of it, it will be practiced against you by motherfuckers who are aware, who are not as conscious as they need to be. Because if you're conscious, you're not going to put out anything negative to try to oppress or control anybody, because you know that everything that you fucking put out is going to come the fuck back to you or to your children or your children or your children, right? So just having the knowledge of these sacred sciences and the ability and the power of the mind is not enough. You gotta have the consciousness to recognize, don't you fuck with that shit just for instant gratification, or gratification that's just gonna serve you in this lifetime, because that shit that you put out there is gonna come back. It's gonna come back to your bloodline. So don't do it. Don't be oppressing people. If anything, if you are aware, use that shit to liberate. Use that shit to liberate yourself, liberate people, raise consciousness. That should be the only methods and reasons and things you're doing with high magic or magic period, or with sorcery. Let's use the words, and let's not make these words seem like they're so negative. Oh my God. Oh my God. What are they doing? They're using crystals and lighting candles. Oh my God, that is of the devil. No, it's not. It's not. It's not. Okay? It's really, really not. Okay? But they tell you that because if you start tapping into your own shit, you start protecting yourself, you start liberating yourself, then you can't be controlled. Anyway, let's get back. Let's get back to me, right? So, yes. Where we are. We're in junior high. Yeah, that major thing happens in junior high. So I'm out of school. I'm out of this elite school for like at least, I want to say at least 4 months. At least 4 months I'm out. Guess what a bitch do still? I still score high on those citywide tests, baby. And so when I graduated junior high, they were like, yeah, you could definitely come back for high school. But again, I just told you the reason why I didn't come back, you know. And at this point, I want to say, was I active? No, I wasn't active. I wasn't active. We didn't talk about it. Y'all you gotta actually listen to some of my episodes, and then you'll hear more in bits and pieces. I ain't give you everything in this episode right here, but I'm gonna give you enough to give you the confidence that you, as a motherfucking adult, that you absolutely can motherfucking heal from any motherfucking traumatic shit that has happened to you. We're talking about abandonment. We're talking about abuse. We're talking about physical fucking disabilities. We're talking about all of that shit. We're talking about economical shit, because it was always poverty. I wasn't living in no bought house. Shoot, my great gangster aunt was in Marcy Projects. I mean, she wasn't in a brownstone. She was in Marcy Projects, okay? And yeah, my mom was in Harlem, And yeah, she was in a low income tenement, you know. And yeah, it was the hood, it was poverty. It's that's what it's been, you know. So the whole point of it is that I got to a point in my adult life when I recognized I want this, I don't want that. And it wasn't just I want this, I don't want that. It was how I'm gonna get this, how I'm gonna get to live this abundant life, how I'm gonna get to bring into fruition all of these things that I love to do. I love art, I have music talent, I have business savvy to certain aspects, not all the parts of the business part now, but the idea I could put together like this. The number possibility game, the projections, I could put together like this. Now the execution is where I need employees. I need employees. They're coming. I'm calling forth my employees. Because, you know, everybody have their own strength, you know. I know my strong parts, you know. And even though I get along with people, and even though I have that type of aura and essence, that when people are physically around me, they just feel good. They know I'm not judging them. They open up. I see them. I see them. I literally see people for the souls that they are, not whatever they're presenting. You know what I'm saying? I see through it, and I'm able to connect. And once that connection is made, they feel free, you know? So I don't know if you two people are having that experience right now with me, because I know one person just jumped in, and I don't even know which page you're actually jumped in on, because I'm doing this cross sharing thing. So hopefully you do feel that, but if you don't, it's okay too. I just pray that the value is in the information and in the encouragement that I'm sharing with you, to let you know that if I could go through those things that I went through. And I didn't even tell you the details of my abusive marriage, because I was married for 6 years, abusive marriage, where I bounced around from place to place, leaving him, escaping him, and he would find me, and I ultimately ended up right back, circling right back to Marcy Projects, whereas my aunt, she passed away in the apartment. I came back to that apartment, again, totally unaware of spirituality and things of that sort. I didn't know nothing about a saging, cleaning down with salt water, none of that. Okay? And the motherfuckers above me, bruja down. So bruja down that one of the motherfuckers moved into my apartment, and I still unaware, didn't know. I just invited in this darkness, okay? Just unaware. And my baby girl passed away in that same motherfucking apartment. And after that, I was just like, I'm not fighting for this shit no more, God. You must have something better for me, because I'm not doing it. And I stopped, you know. The reason why I fought for it, because I shouldn't have fought for it, because I literally was raised there. You hear me say I was there from 6 months old up until preteen, you know. So at one point in time, I was actually on the lease. But you want to know why I fought for it? It's not funny, but it's the truth, and it is what it is. It is because my relatives felt the way about me coming to the projects. Why did my relatives feel a way about me coming to the projects? Because they fought so long to get to the projects. So they value the projects like, I don't know, the lottery or something. I don't know what the fuck they valued it as. But they had this value on the projects that was beyond me, because I had actually lived in houses. You know, my very first house I rented was in Allentown, Pennsylvania, 918 Allen Street, okay? And it was a 3-bedroom house. It was attached, so it wasn't like it was by itself. It was attached, but it was on the corner, so all of it wasn't attached, you know? Downstairs was the kitchen, living room. I had a full basement. Second floor was the bathroom. There was only one bathroom in this house. And then it was 2 bedrooms. So it was my room, my daughter's room, and then the third floor was another room, and that was my son's room. So me, young 26-year-old me, I'm thinking that, first of all, I'm safe, because I just left all of that shit in fucking Pennsylvania to get to safety. Okay? Now I'm safe, and I'm in this 1-bedroom apartment. I'm not looking at it as a luxury, but they saw it as a luxury. So you know what they did? They took their they drunk selves to management. They said, man, this girl just came from nowhere. She up in there. She ain't supposed to be up in there. She don't belong there. She haven't been there for decades. What is the decade? The decade is from 11 to 21 or 26. Like, I'm still a motherfucking baby, basically. I'm still a fucking baby. And you would think that the elders in my family would be like, oh, yes, baby, you safe, you got away from that asshole. No, because they probably was getting their motherfucking ass beat, and they hadn't found the strength to leave whoever beating their motherfucking ass outside of a bottle. So they didn't have no sympathy or love for me. So I'm telling you all of this shit to let you know that the woman I am now, the happy person that you may have encountered, if you encountered before knowing all of this shit, yeah, I have worked to be me. And I work to stay me. And I work to become a better me. And if I can do it when all those odds were stacked the fuck against me, baby, and without a support system that has been steady and consistent outside the unseen support system that I have, because I do have a strong unseen support system. But a lot of people, when they talk about their hardships and the things that they've been through, they have got grafted into families. They've had people embrace them, people that are constantly feeding them and showing them love. That I cannot relate to. I had one individual that was my friend for about a good 20 years, and they to deal with their own personal stuff that they weren't dealing with. That's what I'll say. Okay, that's the best way I could describe it. They hadn't dealt with their own stuff, but they do have a support system. So, still not the same thing, not the same as me. So no matter what your circumstances, no matter what you have been through, if I can do it, you for sure can do it. You can for sure make the decision to become a better version of yourself. And to learn and to teach yourself and to educate yourself. You don't necessarily gotta go to school. Now, I like school. I really do. So I'm going back. Because there's some things I want to learn. There's some people that I want to get with that I know is just waiting for me. And so that's my reason of going back. Network and to really get into the nitty gritty of this motherfucking country. And it's so amazing like how my ancestors, the unseens, have been with me along the way, because they've been giving me stuff. When I first came, you want to know when I first came into this right here, and I started going to these classes at the National Black Theater in Harlem, do you know what an elder in the class told me? They told me I could be here. You may not be able to see where this is at. I'm going to get close. I don't know if you can see it really. You can't really see it because of the light. That's DC. They told me I could be in motherfucking DC in a few years, and I looked at them like they were crazy. Because I said, DC? If I could go to DC, I don't want to work anything to do with this stuff. But that is part of my calling. So, don't be surprised. Don't be surprised 15 years from now, sister girl, sitting in Congress somewhere. Don't be surprised, okay? Just don't be shocked. You know, there's a space, and when you raise your consciousness, you get in tuned with things, so you feel things, you know. I just recently went to DC, and it was phenomenal. To get there was phenomenal. I got there, and it was police week. Couldn't have been ironic. And let me just say this, that if I didn't have these pins in my hips, and the NYPD was so rigorous about their basic training, I would have definitely had a badge, you know. And I know I could have went through school safety and went that way, but yeah, I would have had my white gloves. And if I would have known that other states wasn't as rigorous, I would have had them other places. But my seat is different, you know. I'm passionate about it. Me, right now, I have a case that I brought against someone in federal court against these Jews. I'm battling some more Jews. If you're just coming in or you've just been in for the last few minutes, you're going to have to see the replay to get the whole scope of everything. But I'm at battle again with some Hasidic Jews, and I'm at a higher court dealing with the conflict, right? But when I tell you how fucking exhilarating it feels to be in that fucking library, it's beyond me. How exhilarating it feels to be in that building for me, it's beyond me. So it's me knowing, hey, you got some work to do, ma'am, and you're going to do it in this sector. I don't know exactly how. It's still being revealed to me how I'm going to do this work in that sector, but it's inviting. See, the unseens that I talk about for me, there's unseens every motherfucking where. And I'm not a ghost whisperer, so please don't put that out there that I said that, okay? But there's just unseen because everything is energy. So when somebody leaves their body, that energy still exists, okay? It may reincarnate. It may float around. Who knows what it does? I don't know what it does, okay? All I know is that everything is energy, okay? And my energy picks up and on other energies, and other energies pick up on my energy. So when I'm in a place and there is some type of agreeableness, I'm going to feel it. And I'm going to be shown shit that I ain't even looking for. Okay? Prime example. I've been there last week. I'm handling my business. I'm going according to how God has directed me to go towards, because I never studied the shit before this experience. I'm aware, okay? So I knew certain things. I was even aware of what title to use, which USC title to use, because it was already presented to me and it's stuck into my spirit. So I already know this is the one to use. This is what you got to do. So anyway, I'm doing what I got to do, right? Filling out, I'm in the library, filling out my paperwork. Right? They know me now there. They fucking know me. They fucking know me. I could go like this. I could go anyway. When I first started going, I was like, let me blend in, right? So I had on my blazer. I had on my dress pants. You know, I was looking like a student, because essentially I am a student at this point. I'm just not, subscribed to a university, but this is shit that I'm going to be doing once I am in a university, case studies and, all of this shit. I'm going to be doing all of this shit, mock this and mock that, but right now it's life, in a sense, it's not really life, but it's practice, right? So I'm in there, okay, first case, they rejected that shit. I had to do it again. I'm like, why? They kind of let me know that I did a lot of stuff right, but I just missed little stuff, So they was like, okay, we approve this, but yeah, we can't approve that and we can't approve that. And I'm just like, what? What did they mean? I was like, when I got it from the clerk, I was like, what? She was like, yeah, well, you could amend it, but I already got the instructions. I'm not amending nothing. I am starting a whole brand new one. Every time, I'm gonna keep doing it till I get it right. I'm gonna keep doing it till I get the shit right, baby. So I'm there doing a new one, right? And I'm like, okay, I need to meditate more so I can get direct. I'm not moving on my own accord. I'm not moving by my own emotional, because it's emotional. I'm defending my home. It's an emotional thing, okay? So I'm like, okay, I'm not going to lean on my own understanding. I'm going to just plug in. And as I'm plugged in, I'm going to be led to exactly what I need to do. So they know me there because I've been there before the first time. So they're like, hey, the guards are saying hey to me at access control. The freaking librarian, she's like, she can't, she's more of a, she's very lady and very quiet, and very aware, I want to say. So she's very, she has this type of motion with her, like just cool, calm, collected, know her shit, on her square, playing her position, so she's cool with it, but she is so funny, I love her, so funny, because the last time I was there, she was not there, and I was looking for her because I needed to notarize something. So I thought I needed to notarize it. I didn't. My signature is enough because it's my case. But anyway, I wanted to notarize it. I looked for her. She wasn't there. And I was like, okay. So now, that was prior to the last time. I'm there now last week. And she's like, did you ever get that notarized? How you even know I was looking to get something notarized? How you even know, though? How you even know you wasn't there, ma'am? So anyway, I respect it. I was like, no, So anyway, I'm there. I'm doing the case, right? So I get it done. And so now she has the room closed, right? She's man, I don't know who this lady is, right? All I do know is she on her square. She's very aware. She's very conscious. That's how true it is, And yeah, she's a real one. She's a real one. She's been testing me since I've been up in the motherfucker. Like, one time she went on lunch, I left all my stuff there, right? Like, fuck it. Because, like, fuck it. I'm going to leave it here, And she came back. We the only ones in there. Okay? I come back to the desk, and there's $10 on the ground. Ma'am, I'm going to need you to take your $10, okay? I'm going to need you to take your $10. Because, no. I'm not here for monetary. I don't even have a monetary relief in there. I just want to be left the fuck alone. That's the fuck I want. Leave me the fuck alone. If you wanna take me to court, please do it the right motherfucking way. Because there's a part of me that enjoys court. There's a part of me that enjoys the shit. And if your shit ain't right, I'm gonna motherfucking come for you. I'll come for you. So anyway, I gave her a little right? So now she's testing me again. I know she's testing me again. She got the door closed, right? And she has a sign up there. And the sign says, in a meeting, please do not disturb, right? So I'm just there. And I'm looking at the sign. I'm like, well, it's okay. I'm not feeling anxious for any reason. Let me look around. I'm in a library. I love libraries, So I'm looking around. And I'm like, I get drawn. Energy. Pulls. Tracks, right? I get drawn to a Bible. So I pick up the Bible and I'm like, okay, God, let's pretend this is the Bible right here. This is not a Bible, but it is the Star Book of Ministers. Ooh. This is my car, people. That's my car right there. This is holding that up. I can't believe I gotta do this office again. Like, I don't understand how it gets like this. Ain't nobody in here but me, so. Anyway, so let's pretend it's the Bible, right? I see the Bible. I pick up the Bible. It says the Holy Bible. And I'm like, okay, God, what do you got to tell me today? Open it up, right? Wherever it opens up at, I read it, right? I read it. It opens up to Isaiah 58. And I'm led to read from verses 8 to 15, with verse 12 standing out. Now, how I remember all of this is because I was having a conversation with somebody. And so I shared this with them. And because they don't allow photography and stuff like that, I couldn't take a picture of it. So I wrote it down. See how our brains and our minds work? Repetition. So I saw it. I read it. I wrote it. It's there. Writing it, it's like, boom. Once you write it and say it, it's there. It's in your mind. Whether you're conscious of it or not, it's in there, okay? So I'm just conscious because I read it to him and I said it and I shared it with him. And so he asked me a question. Verse 12, again, signs, information. That was like, what the fuck, right? And I was like, it hit me. Like, when you hear the truth because it just hits you. It impacts you. Like, it stops you. Whatever the fuck you're doing, you're like, what the fuck? I need to pay attention. Your spirit, your soul lets you know. You need to pay the fuck attention to this information that you just got, right? So, the information, I got it. I received it. And I'm just like, whoa. Basically, read the scripture for yourself. I don't know the scripture verbatim, but I know the number. Isaiah 58, verses 8 through 15. Read it, right? So, the brother I'm talking to or whatever, he's like, oh, what kind of Bible is it? So I'm like, I don't know. Let me go look at it. Now, I assumed that it was a King James Version Bible, right? That was my assumption. Now, I know there's different translations because growing up in the religion that I grew up in, or that was introduced to me during my formidable, when I was really young, that religion, Jehovah's Witness religion, they have a different translation of the Holy Scriptures. So I'm aware that there's different translations. So, and different types. So I got it and I looked at it. And when I looked at the Bible, it shocked the holy, like, it was, you know, that emoji with the, that's how I felt. Because here I am, right? I'm battling a group of Hasidics, right? The Bible was from the Masoretic, was translated from the Masoretic, damn, I wrote it down. Masoretic, though, off the top of my head. I didn't read that too much, and obviously. But what I do know, it was from the National Jewish Society of America. Wait a minute. The very people that I'm fighting, I find a book of Holy Scriptures that was translated directly from the Masoretic Holy Scriptures. Okay, if that ain't deep, I don't know what the fuck is. And if you read that scripture, it basically says, you victorious, call on God, God got your back. Remember, God got your back. That is just my interpretation of the whole scriptures. There's more in it. Read it for yourself to get all the deets. But I was like, what? So that was just like, you victorious, baby. I just want you to know. So just know that you are, and just be it, you know. But of course, the way my mind is, I have a very analytical mind. Being a person of high intellect, I have a very analytical mind, and I analyze everything. Every single minute thing I'm analyzing, whether I'm speaking about it or whether I'm not. And when I'm in very high analytical mode, I'm silent as fuck. Be quiet. Very quiet. I'm just like, I'm computing information. You think something's wrong, you feel a way. I don't feel no way. I'm computing information. That's what I'm doing. But do you really say that to a person? I'm computing information. What the fuck? Is you a robot, bitch? No. I'm just highly intelligent. I tell people all the time, I use it as a joke now, because people don't expect it. You know, they see me and they just like, ooh, you look good. Look at those curves, girl. Look at them curves. Look at them curves. Ooh, you look good. And, you know, then I get smart on them. They're like, oh, she's weird. The fuck? I try to give her some money. She ain't money. I try to do this, the same shit I do with the other big booty girls. She even respond to it. What the fuck? What's wrong with that bitch? That bitch crazy. And I laugh because, of course, they said Einstein was crazy too. And I've come to accept the fact that, no, I'm super fucking intelligent and super smart. Doesn't mean that I know everything, because I don't. I do not. Please don't confuse the two. Having intelligence does not mean that you know everything, okay? It just means that my brain works a certain way. So I am analyzing every fucking thing. I'm analyzing body language. I'm analyzing tone. I'm analyzing the motherfucking energy that I am feeling within my energy field. I'm analyzing everything. I'm traveling. I'm analyzing. It may look like I'm chilling. It may even look like I'm having a great time, because I was having a great time yesterday while I was traveling. Had my music on. I feel good, like the moon is shining just for me. Oh, yes, I was jamming. I had my music on. I was jamming, but I was paying attention to every motherfucking thing going the fuck on at the same time. That is the level of intellect that I have. And it has been very challenging for me to find a romantic partner like this. I think maybe I'll find him in the Mensa Society or something, you know, or at school or something. I need to be around somebody who has the same level of intellect or beyond, so they could be like, look at that smart, sexy bitch right there. But I do now forewarn the people before I date them, I am a sexy nerd. But I think, you know, again, their perception. What's your perception of nerd? Somebody who just likes to read books? Well, I'm beyond that. I love books. But I'm beyond that too, you know. I'm on a whole nother level, for real, baby. And it's not a joke or a game. And, you know, it is what it is. But, Anyway, with all of that being said, it's just for anybody who has not been familiar with Super, Nikita Black, Miss Bay, me, just me. This is the opportunity for you to get to know me, and to tune into my show, which will be regular. I cannot foresee how regular, but my goal is once a week, every Sunday, to come and do an episode. I'm probably going to do an episode in the morning so that I publish it directly to the actual platforms, and then I'm probably going to come in the afternoon like I did and do one live, so people could come in and we could interact with each other live. To the one person who has stuck this whole time out with me, thank you. You didn't even identify yourself. You didn't leave a comment or nothing. I don't know who you are. Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Checking out me. Who are you? Checking out me. But anyway, things I love to do is laugh, and the things that I share with you and encourage you to do, these are things that I'm doing for myself. I'm taking the time to invest in myself. I'm taking the time to heal myself. I'm taking the time to grow myself. Taking the time to love myself. And this is a lifelong devotion to me, so I'm glad I have the opportunity to share that and share my thoughts and everything. My recorded podcast is going to be long. It's going to be probably like as long as this shit. I feel like I've been talking for hours now. I don't even know if I can see the time. I don't even know what time I want. Maybe just an hour. I'm looking at the time on my computer if you're trying to figure out what the hell I'm doing. And maybe, I don't know. I think it's been longer than an hour. I feel like I've been talking longer than a fucking hour. But I wanted to get out here and share, encourage you to study. If you're here in America, okay, and you look like me, yes, your self-development is key. That's first and foremost, okay? The second most important thing you must do, no matter what your level of intelligence is to become familiar with how this shit is structured and how this shit works. So when you are faced with a challenge, you know how to navigate this shit effectively. I have nothing against screaming and protesting and all of that shit, but that is an emotional release, and that is really predominantly for you. It doesn't help shit. It doesn't change shit. What change shit is actually changing laws. What change shit is actually holding accountable in a court of law that has the jurisdiction over the matter. That's how you be effective with shit. Okay? Screaming and shouting, it's a good emotional release. You feel good. You felt like you did something, but did you? If you want to actually do stuff, educate yourself so you know exactly what to do. So you got to do both of those things. You got to take care of you, and that's all of you. That's not just the outside of you. That's the inside. The inside is actually more important than the outside, okay? So make sure you're meditating. That could be a lot of different things. Don't think that it's sitting down with your legs crossed. No. There's different ways. Find a way that works for you. Basically, essentially, what meditation is quieting your mind. You could quiet your mind sitting at your computer. It's possible. You could quiet your mind just sitting on your couch. You could quiet your mind at any fucking time with practice. So just do that. Quiet your mind. Don't allow your mind to go over, well, this is happening over here. This is happening over here. This is doing this. Oh, they're selling us this. They're selling it. Quiet that. Shut it up. Shut it up. Okay? And just sit in quietness. You might hear like the AC, like my AC is buzzing. You could focus on that. Focus on something that's easy. You can focus on the chirping smoke detector of your house. Focus on something simple and easy. That's how you quiet your mind, okay? Focus on your breath. That's what a lot of people say, a lot of people recommend. You know, while you're sitting and you're quiet, listen to yourself, breathe in and out. Quiet it. And your mind is going to want to fight you. Your mind is going to want to fight you for real, for real. It's going to be like, but what if this? And what if that? And, oh, I got to do this and I got to do that. And just be like, okay, back to my breath. Like, you can have that internal conversation with your mind. And with time, it will shut the fuck up, you know. I don't know how much time it's going to take. But they say between 21 to 90 days is a good way to create a new habit. So get into that habit of meditating and quieting your mind. Again, don't think you got to sit cross-legs. Because I can't sit cross-legs at this moment. Did I mention I have those screws in my hip still? Shit, I got work to do on the physical, but I've been doing a lot of work on the internal. So that's why I don't mind even talking about the physical stuff that I need to work on, because it's like, hey, internally, I'm good, baby. You can't, what you gonna say? What you gonna say? Ooh, she can't do a full squat? So what? Ooh, she can't do a split? Oh, so what? Ooh, she grunt when she getting out of cars? And I do. What you gonna say? Ooh, she got pimples? And I do. But the inside is solid as fuck. This outside, baby. This outside is just this way. And it's still sexy just how it is. It's sexy just how it is. But the work that I do on this outside of me, baby, it ain't even gonna take long, baby. And let me tell you, boo, you won't even remember the fact that I had pimples. Or what the fuck I could do with these tight legs, these tight, sexy legs of mine. Okay? You wouldn't even know. You wouldn't even know. You see me dancing in the videos, you wouldn't even know. You like, oh, but she got some rhythm. Oh, she can move them hips. Yeah, they can move, baby. They just got a little bit of restrictions. I mean, which can be major restrictions in certain instances. But nonetheless, they work. I woke. You know, I could even do a little jog. And I'll be walking tomorrow with some good sisters. And yeah, this outside was not my priority. My priority was the inside, and I've done that, and I'm still doing it. It's not done. It's not like one and done. Oh, I've done it for 5 years, 7 years, 8 years, 9 years, 10 years, and now I'm perfection. No, I'm gonna always be constantly working and growing inside. You know, like, because there's always gonna be new experiences. So that's just where I'm at, and that's where I'm going to be. And me sharing with you guys these intimate things, whoever watches this going forward, is to let you know that it doesn't matter what obstacles have been put in your path. They are all removable. All of them. It's going to just take some time and some patience and some effort from you. And not a whole lot of effort, just consistency. Because once you realize that you are fully supported by this powerful source that's beating your hearts, you can ask that to assist you. You can tap in and get assistance, and it will come in so many different shapes, forms, and matters. Sometimes it will come through people. Sometimes it will come through just experiences and situations. But it will come. It's always available to you, the help that you need. So don't ever feel like you're alone, because you never are, even though there may not be seen people around you. Have fun, laugh, do the things you enjoy, you know, cause harm to none, especially yourself. That's my words for today for everybody. Thank you for tuning in to the SupaTea podcast show. I hope you clicked the link and you checked out my song, and you can catch me on every platform. And I'm going to be signing off now. Hopefully next week I have like a guest or something. Who knows? Who knows? Later, y'all.